Hello and welcome to Aztec Rewind, Football Edition, brought to you by Considine and Considine. I'm Doug Deacon, assistant coach, special teams coordinator, taking you back through the 2019 season's most memorable moments with the players. Coming up on this edition, I'll be joined by Kiava Tizino and Jesse Matthews to take us through the first half of the New Mexico Bowl. It was San Diego State's 10th straight season going to a bowl game, and this one was versus the Chippewas of Central Michigan. With us now is senior captain, linebacker out of Salesian High School in Los Angeles, number 44, Kiava Tizino. It's great to see you. Congrats on signing your free agent deal with the Patriots, 4-4. Can you tell Aztec Nation what it's looked like since graduating?
Oh, yeah. Thank you guys for having me. It's been great since graduating San Diego State. I mean, signing with the Patriots is just another journey for me to continue on my football journey. I'm blessed to have the opportunity. I just can't thank Aztec Nation and the Aztec football team enough for, preparing me for this moment. Like I said at the banquet, it's San Diego State Aztecs always have a special place in my heart. And, I'm going to just continue on the legacy of trying to do good things and bringing it back. So thank you.
It's great to see you. Alongside Tizino was his former teammate and redshirt freshman in 2019, number 45, Jesse Matthews. Originally a walk-on wide receiver, a hometown hero right in our backyard at Christian High School in El Cajon. He finished the season voted on by his teammates as the offensive MVP. How are you, Jesse? What's the latest with you and the team?
I'm doing good. The team and I are just lifting and running right now. We're finally able to come back onto campus and start working out with each other. Not able to use the weight room quite yet, but we're just on the field getting our work in. And it's been great so far, just being around the guys and trying to build our culture for this year.
Well, good. I know Aztec Nation can't wait, so I'm glad you two can join me on the Zoom and the Aztec Rewind to give the itch a little bit of soothing to be able to take them back to the game. We're coming off the BYU victory in the last regular season game. We're 9-3. We're one of 13 teams in the country that currently have a 10-game bowl game streak, and that's the only team in California to do so. Stanford was tied with us, but in the 2019 season, their streak was snapped and not becoming eligible. Now I've modified the game to some key plays and drives within the game. So without further ado, let's roll the film. Now with the bowl game, we were flown in 3 days prior and were shown an unbelievable time. Jesse, did you have a favorite memory leading up to the game during the bowl prep?
Yeah, just the overall hospitality that we were shown down in New Mexico. I remember we first got there and we walked into the hotel and we were greeted with a band, and that was pretty cool. But just overall, they're really hospitable down there, and I know I enjoyed my time down there, and I think the whole team did.
Well, you saw in the graphic, Kiava was one of 4 first-team all-conference, and here we are in the first series of the game, third down, and Kiava comes up with a batted ball and an INT. Kiava, take us through this play.
Yeah, so I mean, this play right here is just something we kind of went over through previous times during the week. We kind of just went over that. The quarterback he throws right over the offensive lineman's head. So when I was running the blitz, I just said, if I don't get through, I'm just put my hands up, and I ended up batting the ball and with an interception. I mean, and I was just so happy I started the game that way, and it just led on from there.
No kidding. Well, after the turnover, Jesse, you and the offense wasted little time. Here you are taking a shot. Take Aztec Nation through this play.
Yeah, so I was actually I had a hitch route on this play, and the corner was pressed, so I knew I had to convert. Got by him. He was holding me a little bit, but once I saw that ball in the air, I went and got it, and you saw my reaction afterwards. I was pumped up.
No kidding. It was hard to believe that was actually your first touchdown of the season since you made so many plays during the year, clutch catches. How did it feel?
Surreal. You said I made a lot of plays during the year, but I was never really found in the red zone. So I knew once I got that shot, I was going to make the most of it, and I wasn't letting that ball hit the ground once I saw it in the air.
It was a huge momentum swing, and we got Coach Long now on the graphic. Kiava, what was it like playing for Coach Long?
Coach Long was just, one word. It was just great. I mean, playing for Coach Long and being able to be a defense guy and being coached by a defense guy was just one of a kind of things. A lot of people in the country don't experience that. So it was a great feeling to be coached by him. I mean, he's like one of a kind that come up with his own defense, and just unique ways. And I'm just so happy he gave me the keys my senior year to lead the defense, and hopefully I did it right, and I'm sure I did. But I mean, I know he'll continue on his legacy and do great things.
Well, you were highly recruited out of high school, Kiava, about a team from at least every conference, including Power 5. What made you choose Sdsu while the viewers watch this 3 and out?
Yeah, I mean, I chose Sdsu because it was a lot of reasons. I mean, it was close to home from LA. You know, my parents can always come down to see me play. And like I said, Coach Long is a defensive guy. He's one of a kind in the country to create his own defense, the 3-3-5, and ran it with multiple types of defense running it. And it was just a great feeling for me when I stepped on campus and took my visit. I just felt at home here. So I said, why not? And I mean, I'm here now, and it just turned out great. So I'm happy I made the decision.
We were too. Well, Jesse, back there deep at punt return, that was a huge issue in 2018. You solidified that role in 2019. Coach Cooper, a huge reason for that success and the returner's success and working with you extra before and after. Then the first play of the next drive, you're catching the in route for another first down. Because of your accountability, your toughness, your playmaking ability, it was evident to the staff and the team as being offensive MVP that you be put on scholarship. Take us through the scholarship announcement while the viewers watch the replays here before we end the first quarter.
Yeah, it's a great story. So after the BYU game, we had the week off, and then that following Monday we had our normal team meeting. So Coach Long went up there and read some of the announcements after the game, like Scout Team Player of the Week, Offensive Defensive Player of the Game, and I actually won Offensive Player of the Game, so I was pretty stoked about that. And then he said, before he sits down, he says, we have one more announcement. And Juwan and all the seniors walk up, and Juwan's reading from this letter, and he's saying, this letter is for athletic scholarship for the 2020 year. And he continues to read the letter, and at the very end it says, congratulations to Jesse Matthews. And then just everyone goes crazy. And, everyone's all over me, and people are just like they're throwing water everywhere. The whole room's going crazy. So that was a great feeling, and it was something I'll never forget.
Well, it was well-deserved, Jesse, and it was certainly fun to be a part of. And we're going to take a TV timeout now that the first quarter concluded ourselves. And when we come back, we'll have a lot more to discuss in the second quarter with Kiava Tizino and Jesse Matthews. Welcome back to Aztec Rewind. Joined by Kiava Tizino and Jesse Matthews, we pick it back up in the second quarter of the New Mexico Bowl game. And the Aztecs ended up kicking a field goal to extend the lead on that drive that Jesse caught the ball over the middle to lead by 7 now in the beginning of the second quarter. Now on this ensuing defensive series, we're up 10-3. Let's roll the film. Now, Coach Hope, now the head coach of the team, was our defensive line coach last year. What was your interaction with him like, Tizino?
Coach Hope was it was a great interaction between me and him. I mean, he was obviously our D-line coach, and I was the linebacker, but I was always in his room trying to just pick his brain, because he coached at many different places. He was at the Panthers before he came to us, so I was trying to get that experience from him because I was a senior, and I wanted to continue on my dream playing in the NFL. So, I mean, I learned just from being around Coach Hoke and being in his room, I learned so much just from the football aspect and just breaking down film and, just knowing what to do and how to do it. So Coach Hoke is he's one of a kind. He's one of the best to do it. I'm just so happy my last year I was able to, pick his brain.
Yeah, and as a member of the 2010 senior class myself, with Coach Hoke being the head coach in his first stint at San Diego State in 2009-10, he was a huge reason I got into coaching because of the type of positive influence he provides, young men, and uses the medium of football to do so. I'm fired up he's back, and even more so now to be a member of his staff. And now, Tizino, since the fans weren't able to see a spring game, who do you see or expect to take over leadership roles here for the Aztec defense in 2020?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like all the seniors in the senior class, they're well invested into the program and they've been there the longest. So I feel like all of them should be, well invested into it, captain, organizing everything, getting the young guys ready for when they're in their position. So, I mean, it's certain guys like Tariq Thompson, Dwayne Johnson, Taylor Hawkins. So all of those guys, Trent Thompson, they should be able to control everything. And I'm sure that they're going to be the leader of the defense, and they go take care of it. I know they are. And I mean, hopefully I did a good job of, teaching them, and I'm sure they'll continue it on.
Tough shoes to fill, Tizino, but being around them firsthand, they're doing a great job. Now, the Aztecs went on to kick a field goal on the ensuing offensive possession where we just left off on the film to make it 13-3 in the first half. We're going to pick it back up on the following defensive series, and it's a 3rd and 7. Let's roll the film. Tizino, take us through this 3rd down play.
Yeah, I mean, so right here, you see Tariq Thompson, he makes a play. I mean, like he's been making plays all year. He gets the interception, our 24th turnover of the season. So it's just, that right there, that play kind of defines all of us in the whole as a defense of what we had, our expectations. And, we held them to a high standard. I mean, last year, a lot of us didn't go home during the summer. A lot of us just stayed back and just built that chemistry with each other and made ourselves accountable for this season. I mean, because, the last few seasons before this past season, we didn't plan on it going as well. So we took it upon ourselves. I took it upon myself to make it happen and make sure all the guys was tuned in. And, I mean, you can see right there that just defines the moment of how everyone was locked in.
Now, the Aztec offense doesn't waste any time again capitalizing on the turnover. Jesse, take us through this 1st down shot.
Yeah, we actually talked about this play on the sideline. We knew we could take a shot. So we were in bunch formation, and TJ was cut down, and I was cut down. And TJ had a post, which would occupy the safety, and I had a spray release vertical. And for some reason, that corner didn't come with me on that vertical, so I was wide open while TJ took the safety. So luckily, Ryan was able to find me, and I just found a hole, and I ran as fast as I could, and luckily I didn't get caught.
Now, Tizino, as his teammate, when did you know Matthews was a player?
Oh, man. I mean, I knew Jesse was a player when I think it was my junior year. I think he was probably his freshman year. He was on the scout team. Man, he was just making all kind of crazy catches over the middle, in the linebackers' zones and stuff. I was just like, man, this guy right here, he doesn't care if he get hit. He go catch the ball regardless. I mean, and that's kind of like where we figured out that he was a player that, next year, since he got his feet wet, since the organization, how everything rolls, he's going to be a playmaker. I mean, that's just what he did. Obviously he was the MVP of our offense this year, and I can't wait to watch him these upcoming seasons. I know he's going to have something special.
Yeah, you don't need to be utilizing the red zone if you're catching in the middle of the field and scoring from there. Now, this next defense series becomes a critical drive right before the end of the half, up 20-3. And I want to point out what makes Tizino so effective. One of the things Coach Long and Coach Arnett and the defensive staff knew he was a great blitzer. You'll see him creep to the line of scrimmage. He has great timing. He uses his hands. He turns his shoulders, takes away his surface, and he closes in a hurry. Obviously, right there in the quarterback's living room before he can even get to his first progression. Now, we did have an unsportsmanlike penalty here, so it extends their drive, and now they're in the red zone on 1st and goal. And none other than the All-American, the corner, the senior, the hometown hero out of Castle Park High School, who went to Grossmont College out of Castle Park. And then we were fortunate to land him here at San Diego State with his 9th interception of the season, tied for 1st in the country. Tizino, what can you attribute to San Diego State's defense being number 1 in the country in the fewest amount of points given up in 165 and the fewest touchdowns surrendered with 19 in 13 games?
All I can say is, I'm just happy that we made that sacrifice at the beginning of the year, not to go home, and just being able to, as a team, come together and build that chemistry. But I mean, anything I did, they did too. So it was pretty much, not just me. I couldn't have done it without them, and they couldn't have done it without me. So I just thank them, just staying at it, just continuing at it. So like you saw, I mean, the defense was one of a kind this year. It was a special defense, and I'm truly going to miss every person on that defense. I just hope, and I know they will continue on the legacy, and I know they're going to do great things coming up this season, and I just can't wait.
Well, spoiler alert, Zeno, you went on to win Defensive Player of the Game with that interception in the first series. You had 3 tackles. You had 1.5 tackles for loss, and you had a half sack. The sack that we just showed on you being an effective blitzer was taken away because of the penalty, so you would have had 1.5. You finished out a phenomenal career, Kiava, and it was a pleasure to be a part of it from start to finish. As soon as you walked onto campus, you carried on a tremendous legacy of linebackers to play at San Diego State, because it's a heck of a list. And we wish you the absolute best throughout the rest of your career, okay?
Thank you, guys. I appreciate everything. I mean, I'm going to continue on this Aztec pride that I have, and I'm going to hopefully continue on in the NFL and play many, many years, and hopefully see Jesse Matthews there one day.
Well, as Jesse said, he ended up being the co-offensive player of the game. He had 3 catches, 2 of them there in that first, or all 3 there in that first half, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jesse, you fielded all 8 punts cleanly. No one's happier than this guy right here. I had the chance at a San Diego awards banquet to sit with your parents in the audience, and your mom smiled and said she's a nervous wreck with you back there every time they're on punt return. Is that something you still want to do here in 2020, Jesse?
Yeah, absolutely. Need a guy. I'm the guy. So you count on me.
Well, that'll make my life a lot easier, the team a lot better. I can't wait to get back to work with you. One thing Aztec Nation will want to know, Jesse, with the new offensive coordinator and Coach Hecklinski, I know we only had 6 spring practices, but what can you tell Aztec Nation to expect from the 2020 offense?
Expect a change, a good change. We're kind of spreading the offense out a little bit more. I think it's going to be a lot more exciting. 5 wide, throwing the ball around, fast pace. So it's definitely going to be a change from what Aztec fans are used to, but I think it's going to be a good change, and I really look forward to it.
Well, awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing you, Jesse, as well as the rest of your teammates here. And I know the fans are itching for ball. I want to thank both of you for coming on and talking Aztec football. We want to thank Considine and Considine for another Aztec Rewind. Coming up next time, we'll hear from the state of New Mexico's very own Jordan Bird and junior cornerback that Tizino alluded to, in the list of seniors. Well, the staff, we're counting on the starter for the past 2 seasons and the junior to be in Darren Hall being a significant leader and contributor. They're going to take us through the second half and talk about the upcoming 2020 season. Go Aztecs.